weekend sales of any entertainment thing ever.
How many doors have you been at that you haven't seen it on the TV?
I haven't seen it once.
You crazy.
I haven't, man.
I've seen it all the time.
I don't have anybody around that's playing it. I keep asking people at work or, just like kids, 18, 19-year-old dudes, like, hey, you getting Red Dead Redemption? And like, yeah, I mean, I want to.
So most games
talking to people without money, that's who you're talking to.
Yeah, that's true.
You're right.
I say most games come out on Tuesday. This came out on a Friday, which is is kind of atypical for video game.
Yeah.
It was like $750 million in the 3-day weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Not in Pennsylvania.
No?
Poor bastard in Pennsylvania. He didn't get it. He still doesn't have it.
What?
Oh, that guy story with the guy.
Oh, the
He
store.
still doesn't have Red Dead Redemption.
Well, somebody needs to call him and tell him it's great. It's like last week we tried talking about it and we had all barely gotten into it. And man,
I'm jealous. I've played it the least.
This game is like the pinnacle. This is what all gaming has led to the full immersion into the environment with this living, breathing environment. Like all the reviews beforehand, they're like, they got a couple hours to play and they're like, this really feels like a living, breathing environment. Fuck yes, it does. There's like, it has random events. Lots of games have it. And now granted, I never played Skyrim, so maybe they had things just like it, but all these random events really feel like you're just cruising along on your horse and then you hear something out in the distance. Maybe it's someone yelling for help, or you hear like a gangster that's like threatening someone on a stagecoach, and you have the option to go and watch or intervene or just leave it alone completely. And it all just feels so fluid. And then there's all the little animals you can hunt along the way, and there's always things to do. And I mean, granted, I've only had the game for a week, but a lot of games that are kind of like this, that have like where you gather things or you hunt animals and you craft things and you have missions, it all feels kind of grindy. At no point in this game have I felt like it's grindy. Even like the main storyline missions, they don't feel like, if you've ever played Grand Theft Auto, and I'm sure many people have, it feels like a lot of those missions are the same. Like okay, go over here and pick up this guy and then take him over here. Oh, you might run into trouble along the way. But this game, they do such a good job at making everything feel unique.
So, Steve-O, is it safe to say your worst fears have come true?
All your free time.
Yeah. Yeah. Eating up free time. I don't know if they have something in the menu that will show you how many hours you've put into a game, but it's going to be a lot. I've probably got 30 hours in already.
Let's just say the testicles have shrunk.
Yes,
I don't know. I've only had female horses.
I'm not sure how you two benchmark that.
Maybe they did the same
Fingerlings.
experiment you did.
You measure kids in a doorway and put marks on the wall. How do you? Never mind. I really don't want to know. Actually,
It's been cold here lately.
Makes the balls shrink.
Makes the balls shrink.
oh, I thought you were saying things were shrinking because you were just sitting down all the time and gravity wasn't working with you.
I thought he was
A
referring
little
to
of this, little of that.
I thought he was referring to the horse balls in the game that shrink when you get in the cold.
The deep level fun.
Oh, Brad, you were talking about Steve-O's balls?
That's what I thought.
Oh, I'm so confused now.
I mean, not on the internet anyway.
Let's clarify whose testicles we're speaking about. They were Steve-O's all the time.
So speaking of those random events, and it is cool that those things and I actually had kind of early on, I'd been in the habit of just like running from one place to the next and not really paying attention to what's around. But I decided to go off the track and just kind of look around, and like I go by and there's this rock with these vultures sitting on it.
Mm-hmm.
And the camera actually kind of panned to it, like kind of like semi-cinematic mode for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it was just a rock, but then I saw a rope tied around it, like a huge boulder.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck is this? This is weird. I'm just looking at it. But then I go around the back side of it, and there's like half a corpse tied to it with its guts hanging out and its head chopped off.
Yeah. Yeah, like in crucifixion pose.
Yeah. And there's like in blood it's written like, do you see?
Yeah.
And then the rock next to it, there's a head with a rolled up piece of paper stuffed in its mouth. And you get the paper and look at it, and it's like a piece of a treasure map, basically.
Which number was it? Do you remember?
I think it was the first one.
Because I got treasure map number 4.
There's only 3.
I got one from a dude that just sold
That-
it to me for $10.
What he's referring to, the body that he found with the head with the paper stuffed in, that's a 3-part map.
Oh,
So there's other ones, yeah.
Yeah, there's.
I know I picked up, but it's in my inventory.
Yeah. I'm sure there are multiple treasure maps, but this is a 3-part piece, like map thing.
Yeah, it's like some kind of serial killer thing. I'm guessing, obviously.
Yeah, it's some kind of mystery you have to solve. I think you might have found the one that I haven't found, but
I'm just happy that a Western thing is that popular.
yeah.
I feel like nobody really cares about Westerns anymore, except like
You're right.
your Papaw and Bekah.
And Todd. Todd.
Westerns will be the new zombies.
Todd likes Westerns.
He loves them.
Todd will quote him.
So here's one of those things. Like that's what Jerry was saying. There's always more important things, and I get that. It's like, but is that our show? Are we here to talk about the important things? I mean, a week and a half ago, did you guys see that video of the train? There was a festival in India. It's sort of like a Burning Man looking thing. It was like fireworks on this huge statue. There's like thousands of people in a crowd, and then a train comes through and just plows through the crowd. Like they were standing on the tracks.
I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen this video yet.
Kills like 50 people. There's a video, and it's horrific. I'm gonna tell you, there's like always fucked up, horrible, important things happening on the world. It's like, is that what we're here to talk about?
I think we talk about whatever's important to
We
us.
talk about what we feel like talking about, and sometimes people don't like that. Sometimes we might play,
That's why I just don't understand. There's so many
Super
people
Fight.
listen.
Some people like Super Fight, some people hate it. We need to play Super Fight again soon.
I agree.
Maybe
I've
Christmas.
thought that every time since the first time we played.
Maybe we'll do it on Christmas.
Oh shit! I pulled out the train video.
Just watch a video.
Oh.
Loud over. Yeah, don't share it. We don't need to show that. But
I have
comes out of nowhere.
I have a sort of train video going on mine. That anybody that might be following us on mixer.com/verbal assault podcast, you have already seen this. But this is my running GIF for the day. These hedgehogs. I guess they're supposed to be maybe Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh right, yeah. Okay, I see the little blue hats on them.
Yeah. There's my train video.
Your
Brad.
train video. Yeah, I was saying train videos can go in many directions.
Yeah.
Don't look for any of those, Brad.
Well, this one goes from left to right. Here we go.
All right. I wonder if he knows that we can't
And the
see it.
train.
Oh, this is just Brad's commentary of it happening.
Yeah, no.
Here we go. A lot of people got.
It's a color man there.
You can also see an aftermath video of the people freaking out and the guy walking around with his phone looking at all the corpses, just laying strewn about.
Just kind of skimming through the rest of the video. Yeah, that's not something you want to show Grandma.
No, okay, Steve, I'll play the CNN clip that I sent you.
Okay.
Here's another one of those important things. This is the media today. This is what we're dealing with and what we try to ignore when we just want to play Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
Because we were distracted by another extremist that was doing bad things in the name of hate.
Yeah, and then now another one. And you have all of them in a row. And, we messaged about this a little bit this weekend. I keep trying to point out to people not to demonize any one group or any one ethnicity, but we keep thinking that the biggest terror threat is something else. Some people who are marching, towards the border like it's imminent. And when the last time they did this, a couple hundred people came and they, most of them did get into the country. Most of them got tuckered out before they even made it to the border. So we have to stop demonizing people and realize the biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized to the right. And we have to start doing something about them. There is no travel ban on them. There is no ban on, they have the Muslim ban. There is no white guy ban. So what do we do about that? So, and first of all,
we don't do a damn thing. We stay white. Just kidding. And edit that out, Patrick.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. Edit it out.
Edit it out.
You want to hear the rest?
No, basically they just go on for a second, and the white dude agrees with him.
Yeah.
End of it.
If he doesn't agree with him, he's racist and his career is over. He made the white man.
He made the white decision.
Made the white move.
When I heard
He
that,
made the white call.
Oh.
Yeah, Dave walked up to me. I was like, "How you doing, Dave?" He was like, "Well, I just found out I'm not people."
because you got to stop demonizing people. Yeah,
And realize that you are the demon.
I am. I'm the demon, or I'm just not people.
The white devil.
When Nathan got there, I threw him, in my special way. He didn't know what the fuck I was talking about.
Yeah, you're just like, how do you feel about not being people? I'm like, what the fuck are you saying, Tate?
Excuse me?
Man, I want to hear that guy say that after a shooting by a Muslim. We need to stop demonizing people and realize that the terrorists are the Muslims. It's the brown people coming over from. Like in any other context, you could not say those words. Insert any other group, you cannot say those words.
I do understand what he was going at with that. And, most active shooters,
In the United States.
Right.
In the U.S., yeah.
So, but I think
Because-
that's where I think that's where he was framing that in that context. It's still, if they can, let's take it from the source. It's CNN. It's as left as it gets. I mean, you just got to keep that in mind. And Fox is as right as it gets. So there's got to be a station somewhere in the middle. Is that Al Jazeera?
No, it's verbal assault, baby.
Oh, that's right. Good news here.
Support us on Patreon.
I mean, there was another one, a woman on CNN. I mean, just straight up saying that if you're for stopping this caravan coming in, you're a Nazi. Yeah, it's just like, I'm so sick of this kind of shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, what can you do? Just get on here and you can rant about. No, I'm not a Nazi. I'm white. I'm a man. I'm okay with it, but I'm not a Nazi. Like, there's no value in saying you're not a Nazi. It's basically playing into somebody's bullshit.
Yeah.
You just come in and just start off with the conversation with, "No, I'm not racist. I'm not a Nazi."
Or I'm not a Nazi, but
Yeah, I'm not racist, but anything you say after that will be considered racist, no matter what.
I'm not
But
racist,
I
but
really like Reese's cups.
Yeah.
Nope, you're racist.
I like to have a stick of chapstick on hand, in case my lips get checked. I'm not a racist, but I need that in my life.
But what about the poor girl in the projects that has chapped lips? They can't afford chapstick.
She can't use.
Wielding your white privilege like a
No.
little magic wand.
No, she may not use my chapstick, but it's not because it's her. I wouldn't let anybody use my chapstick.
No, that's a no.
Not even your white girlfriend, you cis homophobic piece of shit Nazi.
Persona non grata.
Yeah.
Would you like at work? They have that. There was like that bucket of Nivea hand cream that just everybody was just like dipping their fingers into.
Yeah, it was a cesspool.
It wasn't a squeeze bottle. It was just like a tub.
It's a cesspool.
But yeah, but I was like, man, my hands are like cracked and bleeding. Just don't listen to this part, Dave. I'm like, I need to put some on my knuckles.
Oh
And
no.
You're like, there's that stuff, and I just open it up, and it's just like I could see all the fingerprint. You were using it. Everybody, all these other people were using it. That also seems disgusting to me.
You just
Like
peel
all these
off.
people with their skin, like all this skin conditions and fucking these like blotchy red nasty shit on the
Yeah.
back of their hands. I don't want that.
If you
Is that
expose yourself,
catching? I don't want it.
the more you expose yourself to it, the more you become immune to it. Isn't
Yeah,
that right?
That's right.
No, all you have to do is peel off the top layer and then go underneath. That's where nobody's touched.
But so in other words, if every time somebody does that, you're just mixing it all together. It's
no,
like the
you-
perpetual ketchup bottle.
You clearly don't understand lotion.
Does
I
that
clearly don't. Because as far as I'm concerned, just like he's talking about with his open and cracked hands, that looks like a staph infection just waiting to happen in there. Some kind of flesh-eating bacteria hanging out in your lotion.
Yeah. Do you think that also works with VD? Just peel back the layer and get
Go to town.
I'm not as knowledgeable about that as I am about lotion.
I'm looking around the
Like your dick's an onion. What? You pull back a layer. The fuck? I don't follow.
pussy lips,
Oh.
peeling your dick like an onion.
It's not,
I don't even
it's
like
not like there's a freshness seal that you just whip off the pussy.
Now wait a minute, a foreskin. Now, okay,
Freshness
I
seal,
guess we're
not force.
circumcised here because we're white dudes in the United States.
Yeah.
It's what we do. It's how you're chosen.
White dudes in the U.S. and the Jews. It's a solidarity. We're
Right.
all circumcised.
We're streamlined.
Yeah.
Maybe that has something to do with why white men are evil.
When we shake our dicks in the wind, it is aerodynamic.
We're trying to earn our foreskin back. That's it.
That's
By committing evil deeds.
Every time a social justice warrior feels wronged, another white cis male gets his foreskin. You've seen the movie.
It's his foreskin.
Four skins ago.
Foreskin Facts brought to you by Jerry.
Brad's receiving text messages from Jerry right now so he knows what all the rules are.
Phone's blown up.
Is Jerry a circumcision crusader? It's definitely one of those arguments we don't need to have again.
Yeah.
No, I actually have been thinking about it.
I'd say wait until he gets on.
But no, it's probably not because I do not want to get yelled at again about what
male
I
rights.
should and shouldn't think about other people's body parts.
Only
What I
men.
should or shouldn't think about other people's body parts.
Only men are allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Women aren't allowed to be picky.
Bekah, let's words.
Oh,
Let's do it now. Let's do that
Well,
now.
boy, this is sudden.
Yeah.
Let me. Oh, okay.
Well, we have to make it. It's got to be a shorter show tonight.
Wow.
We'll play Red Dead Redemption.
Right.
Yeah, we gotta go play the video game.
Red Dead and then groceries.
We do not cater to your grocery
And he's
schedule.
gonna buy virtual groceries in the game.
Because
Yeah.
Get some biscuits.
I did.
Some canned peaches.
Is there a click list on there?
Canned beans is
I
good eating.
bought a roll and I tweeted it.
Hey,
This is
so
the future.
it's been a while, but do you guys all remember the parts of speech and like the different types of words and stuff?
4th grade English. Most
Basically.
of it.
There's let's see, there's happy words, sad words, mean words, funny words,
Question words.
question
I didn't know
words.
we were diagramming sentences here.
Yeah.
I hate
You don't have your Venn diagram filled out? Hold on.
We have the A words and the I words.
The sometimes Y words. Okay, I need an adjective, please. An adjective is a describing word. And
Dirty.
make it fucking good.
Whoa.
Okay, dirty works just fine. Okay, we're gonna move on to last name, and it's gotta be.
McGillicuddy.
Just give me a letter to start it with, and I'll fill in the rest. Okay, that's good. Yeah.
J.
Good letter, Nathan. Good letter. Where'd you get that one?
Wow, would you just pull that out of thin air?
He's got some special letters in his back pocket.
So you know all the letters?
I know some of them twice.
Oh, wow. Oh, like in Spanish when they put the two L's together.
I know all of them in Spanish.
That's that white privilege shining through, Mr. Know all your letters and shit.
Twice. Okay, I need
Terrorist.
another adjective.
Frumpy.
Frumpy. No, I don't like it. Give me another one.
Skanky.
I was just about to say Skanky.
I don't like it either. Dave,
Oh,
Dave, I see
both
those
me
gears.
and Brad.
I see your gears turning.
I'm thinking.
us white people know what we're thinking.
I don't like Uzi. Steve-O, it's up to you.
Oh, finicky.
All right, we're
God
gonna
damn
go
it.
with what was the first one you said?
Frumpy.
Skanky. We're gonna go with Skanky.
Wow. We went through all that for nuffs.
It wasn't for nothing. It was a great conversation. I need a body part.
Uncircumcised
testicles.
penis.
Foreskin.
Christ, that's not a body part.
Not for some people,
Not
but for
us
others
here,
it
but
is.
some-
Okay.
Speak
all
for
those terrorists out there still have their foreskins.
Foreskin nerds.
Horse skin.
Okay, I need a plural noun.
Testicles.
Nope.
That is a plural noun.
Hedgehogs.
There are two of them. That it is.
This is welcome to your not so free speech.
Get
brought
used
you
to it.
by the Nazis.
As long as we have. This is your state-run media.
Asshole wrinkles.
That's perfect. I can't breathe. I have a cramp so bad from laughing. Okay, what was it again? Say it one more time.
Asshole wrinkles.
Asshole.
Say it like you mean it.
That's so gross.
Now I need a singular noun.
Singular sound.
Singular noun.
Testicle singular.
Singular testicle.
Yeah, it has to be
Okay,
singular.
it's-
testicle.
Gonad.
I can take testicle
Gonad.
now.
Gonad.
Testicle
Gonad's
is good
pretty
now.
good.
Now put the word horse in front of it.
My head right now. This is so. You will though
I don't
eventually.
like that. That sounds scary.
Okay, another adjective.
Oh my god.
Scrawny, skinny, diseased.
I'm gonna go with
Foul.
Frumpy.
the one
Going
Brad
back
said
to
initially
frumpy.
because it is a good word.
Okay.
Plural noun again. Now you came through great the last time. So.
Gonads.
Cousins.
Cousins.
Okay.
I feel like it's perfect.
It is so perfect. A measure of time.
Parsec. But it's not. But
What?
use it anyway.
Edit that out. We
Use
don't
it.
need to piss off the white males.
Parsec. Parsec. It's from fucking Star Wars. Made the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
But it's not really a measure of time. It's a measure. It's an angular measurement from the surface of the Earth. I think. It's they measure how far apart is something by parsecs. I think, or maybe it is an actual distance, but it definitely is not time related. But it fits perfectly.
Change
we
it to
don't know that,
Fortnite.
but Adjective. I need an adjective.
Fortnite would be good. Adjective.
Nobody.
Festering.
Foul.
Foul. Plural noun. This one is
Hedgehogs.
okay.
All right.
It's just if I'm not looking at the screen that has you guys on it, I look to my left and I see hedgehogs doing the train.
He's just got the whole dictionary pulled up with his hedgehogs in the train.
Hedgehog trains.
Okay, adjective. This is the last adjective, and then two fun ones after that.
Barreling.
That's a verb.
Wait for it if I get a noun.
Adjective. I need
Oh,
Barreling. That's a.
it. Nope.
What?
Adjective is
explosive.
No, that's a word.
think that's a
Explosive.
word.
It'd be like barrel-like.
Explosive.
Explosive. Yeah.
Unexpectedly.
No, that's an adverb.
Oh. look
Drop
at
the
you.
ly and it'll be an adjective.
Stop showing your white privilege.
God, this is like grammar checker.
I mean, do we want to use? I mean,
Yeah, Dave. That's the whole point. Is
it has to be the right kind of word.
But I mean, it's almost like we were guessing at something. I think, like we always do.
You were just you're not actually offering your word. You're asking a question. Does this word fit?
quit dumbing right now.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
no.
use dumbing. Okay. So the last two I need are two events. like wedding.
Tunguska event.
Indian Burning Man.
Burning Man's, yeah, that's pretty good. I like Burning Man.
Um,
How about that train hitting all those people in India?
That's exactly what
There
I was
you go.
trying to set up, Nathan.
Replace that, yeah.
what's the I don't know. Lollapalooza. No.
We already have a music festival.
Woodstock.
What about
Well, Burning Man is not actually.
Kwanzaa.
It's not a music festival.
Kwanzaa.
What's the plural of bris? Is it brisses?
Brisses.
Brie?
Brie.
It's free.
I can't do it. I can't say that one. But something like that, something along those lines, and an event. That,
Circumcision.
okay.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what a
It's
bris.
bris. It's a bris.
Okay, well that's
Jewy. It's just the Jewy version.
that's
I don't
all
know.
the words I need.
All right.
It's all the words. Those are the only words you can use the rest of the podcast.
Those are all your words.
Put them in any order you want. It'll make perfect sense.
Yeah, wordsmith. You're such a poet.
Steve-O, what do you want to talk about?
Okay, yeah. So, to this will probably be the last update about this rocket failure that nearly killed an American astronaut and a Russian cosmonaut. But they made it down to the ground safely for anyone that is just tuning in.
You said that the wrong way, Steve-O. They almost killed an American astronaut and a Russian cosmonaut.
He was on board too. So everybody had these suspicions that it had something to do with those 4 boosters around the outside of the rocket. I'm going to share my screen for you guys, and anyone that really wishes they could see these screens, you just tune in to mixer.com/verbal assault podcast, and you'll be able to watch along with us Friday nights at 10-ish. So we have a picture here of the booster separation part, and you're supposed to have one going in all these directions, and you guys can probably see that one of them is not doing what it's supposed to do. It did stay connected to on the very tip of that cone-shaped booster, and they are saying that it was a failure of a sensor that was supposed to trigger there's a little vent on the top of this cone-shaped booster that's supposed to push the tip of it away. And there's a sensor that's supposed to trigger this valve to open up to release a bunch of oxygen. It just happens to be oxygen. That's what they have a lot of on hand. And it will push the tip of that booster away. And there is a video that they released along with this press conference that they gave. And I'm going to show you guys right here. It comes just a few seconds.
Harmed in this video?
What?
Were any birds harmed in this video?
Not in the video per se. Maybe during launch there could have been, but we didn't see that, and we try
Not
to.
in this video.
Not in this video.
Okay. All right.
Okay. All right. So they're cruising, and then they separate, and then you can clearly see that two.
It didn't flip out.
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah, it stayed connected.
Oh no!
And a little dead air. Yeah, sorry guys, we're watching this, and yeah, and then you can kind of see for a little bit the rocket tumbling, and yeah, so that is what happened, and they're blaming it on this sensor, and the way they put it was they blamed an error during assembly, so that it wasn't a faulty sensor, it was an error during assembly on the factory floor. So what
we had Mr. Seagal on the case out there investigating the rocket, figuring it all out.
I'm really trying to get to the bottom of this. I don't know. Doesn't he? He talks like really.
I wonder what
really
happens
soft.
if I put this bubble gum right here on the side of the rocket.
So they are. They're doing this like retro processing of existing rockets that they had already constructed. They're going to go back and replace these parts just to make sure. And actually, they had a launch by this same type of rocket a week ago. They have another one scheduled for this coming week, and then there's one more in about a week and a half after that. And if all of these launches go okay, then they're going to go ahead and put people on in December. So it looks like everything, like while the whole schedule is pushed back and a lot of work didn't get done on the space station, which on the ground, this doesn't affect us, but, pushing forward in space flight, especially with this, with SpaceX and Boeing sending up astronauts, this isn't going to be a big hiccup for that. And that's kind of the important thing, other than the fact that they survived the rocket exploding. So it looks like they're going to be able to get back on track and continue everything without having to take the crew off the space station. That was the big thing, is not having to remove the crew from the space station.
Yeah, that's what we wanted.
That's what we want.
On the station.
Got to have people up there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you remember that asteroid with the that cigar-shaped asteroid, and it had some like Hawaiian name? And I was just reading it earlier, and I can't remember.
Yes, the Anamua or
Yeah, something like that.
Manamua or something.
I saw an article where they were like, they had some scientists had done a study and saying, I guess they had done a weird acceleration when it was coming through into the solar system or wherever it is, I don't know, through the galaxy. And they were saying that it gets hyped up by the headline, but they were saying it's a possible explanation from that is that there is a solar sail. Basically it's a probe from a distant civilization.
Oh,
Possibly the way it accelerated unexpectedly, because I guess it did do that.
Oh, really? Oh, I hadn't heard that. I thought you were just referring to how quickly it moved through the solar system, because
it
was
accelerated and changed its direction slightly, and they couldn't figure out why. And one of the explanations they were saying is that it possibly, one way it could have done that.
Yeah, right. Not like, hey, this is what we're hanging our hat on, but it's possible.
It happened, but apparently it did do that. So that's interesting.
I mean, it was the source kind of something that you don't expect to just be bullshit.
No, it was like metro dot whatever co.uk or whatever.
Okay.
But
I mean, that's interesting, because it was they pretty much, I mean, as confirmed as it can be, they pretty much confirmed that it was from outside of our solar system, because of the speed at which it came in and then left. The only way that it could have done that is that it would have had to originate from outside of the solar system.
Yeah.
To move that fast. Yeah, I'm gonna have to really look into that, because that's interesting. I hadn't heard that it like changed its velocity like that or something.
We better get on that.
Yeah, man, that's interesting. I mean, of course, my first thought is I don't know about that, but I'd still like to see it.
Hey, Brad, what's going on with you?
Not too much, man. Just been working, playing Red Dead.
Trying to find that authentic Chinese.
Yeah. Yeah. I was watching a video where I guess every single Chinese restaurant in America has this secret menu that Chinese people would know about, and it's actual Chinese food where they take the ingredients. Like, how you go to a buffet and you get General Tso's chicken, and you're like, this is ketchup and honey and bullshit.
Right? Yes. Yep.
Well, Chinese people think that too, but they know Americans buy it because Americans like McDonald's and
yeah, it's just super sugary fried shit.
yeah. So they the thing I was watching, like, instead of egg rolls, you got these. It was like, the best way to describe it was beef jerky and a crispy pancake, which still sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had a couple stews that had like fish in it, and there's something else. But they it was a Chinese girl that was with them, and she even said like this, when you get the American food, it's just meant for Americans. Like, Chinese people don't eat it. But
do you remember
stuff.
like the names of anything? Were the names different at all?
Oh, I can pull it up real quick.
Can you what you're saying is like can you go into a Chinese restaurant, like a Chinese buffet, and like pull the girl aside that just gives you the water and be like, hey, can you give me the real shit?
Yeah.
He only speaks like 2 words of English, which is water and thank you.
Well, that's like I'm almost positive I've talked about it. The couple of Chinese buffets that I've been to that have an item that's labeled fried shrimp, but what it really is like a ball of breading that kind of tastes seafoody, but has this crab claw stuck into it that's supposed to look like the tail of a shrimp. But upon closer examination, which you are bound to do when you get to your table, yeah, okay, you sold me on it at the bar, but here in about 10 seconds, I'm going to be sitting at my table, and I'm going to pick this thing up and try to pick it up by the tail like any normal human would do with a piece of shrimp, and the bread ball is going to fall off, and I'm going to be sitting here holding a crab claw that is clearly not a shrimp tail, and I have basically a hush puppy that's seafood flavored. Is that the authentic Chinese that we're looking for? Are they trying to give us a taste and it's way over my head?
It's the tricky trick.
It's crafty Chinese.
I think they're just in the back thing whenever they watch it. Oh, he's going for the shrimp. Ah!
There's like a Chinese restaurant Reddit out there where they just post videos of Americans picking up the fried shrimp and figuring it out when they get back to their table. Like, oh,
Okay, I found the video. I can pull this up on this other screen. I don't know how to share sound.
yeah, you're not gonna be able to share sound.
But anyway, you can just watch the video.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Instead of egg rolls, you get a scallion pancake, and
Okay.
it's just beef jerky in there.
So this is a white boy with his Chinese girlfriend, and she's like giving him the inside scoop. I hope she's safe.
That looks like a toaster strudel.
As
Does she know who she's sitting with?
Yeah, I don't know. She's sitting with a terrorist right now,
Right.
and she's giving him their
fuck is she
food
doing?
secrets.
Do you have any idea that he is not people?
there we go. Here we go.
Instead
There
of
you
egg
go.
drop.
Sour cabbage fish soup.
I mean, that looks recognizable as something you would get from a Chinese restaurant.
Oh! I thought that was my bad. I thought that was dog food.
Typical white male.
Yeah, cis male.
Me.
So Brad, are you gonna try to do this? I'd love to hear you trying to get the secret Chinese menu.
So they explained all this stuff and they show all this good food and stuff. So they get you to where you want to, go and try, something like this. And they don't really go about how to explain other than, like somebody said, pull the girl aside and say, hey, I know you got the real Chinese food. And then struggle through her broken English to try to say, oh, no, I want real Chinese food. They're like, it's real Chinese. It's real. Yeah, it's real. No MSG.
No MSG for you.
No, I think real Chinese do MSG as well.
If you could find somebody, like, usually you get the kid there because the kid knows Chinese and English, and then if you talk to the young kid, that would probably be the best way to do it. Find the person who has the best English there, say, hey, I want some real Chinese food.
Except that kid's like, I don't eat that shit. Give me some McDonald's.
Yeah, you don't want the flat brim hat with Fortnite on their phone. You don't want to talk to that kid. You want to talk to the kid with bills. The kid that's watching that kid. That's who you want to talk to. Like, see, here's fucking Trans-Siberian.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Yes, that's what we want.
That's what you want to eat.
Trying to do this. Get the real Chinese.
I feel like normal, just the normal takeout Chinese places wouldn't have this. I don't know why. Like, I don't think any of the places in Maryville are gonna have them. There's two places here in Cocoa Beach, and I don't think either of them would have that. I don't know. There's one of the places that we order from work a lot. We have sort of a rapport with them. I wonder if I could ask them about it. Like, just next time I pick up some food from Kimbo.
Oh yeah, Kimbo, they might actually do it
if they have it. Yeah.
New China. That lady will. No, thank you. This much. Thank you.
Yeah, I see it at Mexican places. Like, you'll see sometimes, like, the cooks or somebody on a break or a couple of Mexican dudes sitting at a table, like, and they're not eating enchiladas.
Right.
Like, even if it's one of those kind of restaurants, so they do the similar kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I'll take my sweet and sour chicken and General Tso's all day long, man. I don't
It's
need
Americanized
any of that shit.
for a reason.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I mean,
They probably came here if they like you know, if they're a family that moved here and started their own restaurant, they probably wanted to bring, oh, we'll bring authentic Chinese to America. And then once they get here, they realize that nobody wants it. And then they just switch to General Tso's and Singapore My Fun.
Or maybe the authentic Chinese to them involved having a fish head sticking out of the stew. And
You throw away every day. Stop making.
This is like Ben Shapiro posted this thing on Twitter today, and he said this a couple times on his show where he's like, if you say you like black coffee, you're lying. You're full of shit. And then he said, like, nobody that's sane and not full of shit would choose whiskey over a strawberry daiquiri. Whiskey tastes like turpentine. It's bullshit.
Yeah, but it gets you fucked up.
No, and I'm saying like a good whiskey has a deep, complex flavor, and there's a reason to like it. There's a difference between a good whiskey and a cheap whiskey.
Well, yeah, it's like saying, oh, you're a fool if you like pizza when there's chocolate mousse out there in the world. Like, they're not the same thing, you know. Like, something sweet is gonna do a certain thing to your taste buds and dopamine or whatever, but there are other tastes, you know, just because, like, you can say that something tastes better, but not if it's not what you're looking for. If I want seafood, then a hamburger makes for a terrible fish sandwich.
Well, yeah, what I got to with that is just something sugary like a strawberry daiquiri is it's like pop music, whereas what I said was like a good whiskey is more like jazz. Like there's a depth to what's happening there, but you have to take time to appreciate it and develop that.
And
like
if you're just going for getting fucked up, then it's not going to you're not going to get the experience that what probably made whiskey famous, or you know, the reason there's this sophistication around it, or any other. I'm sure that whiskey's not the only one. There's scotch and vodka probably has some kind of a thing.
Scotch is whiskey. It's just from Scotland.
Oh, really? Oh, well, there you go. Hey, everybody! I just learned that.
Yeah, it's you know, it's basically, you know, bourbon is just the Kentucky version, and it's still whiskey.
Right. Okay.
But I don't know. Bekah, what's up with you?
Well, I have now something in common with Michael Phelps.
Did you guys smoke weed?
Is it robbing people in the streets of wherever that was?
Oh, that was the other guy.
No, he was in on it.
No, this is another chapter in my massage saga. So last night,
get that tub of Nivea ready, fellas.
peel back the layers until you're comfortable.
We go from Chinese food to Chinese massage.
No.
Nice segue.
So, there isn't really a whole lot interesting to say about this experience other than this was, I think, my 6th or 7th professional paid massage, and it was the first time receiving one from a male. And so
that's how you have reached the pinnacle. You're ready. That's
You're
how
ready to
that's
become
how
a white man.
That's how you have officially been groomed. You are ready to go.
Good strong hands.
well, I mean, that was one of the things he discussed was that somebody told me next time you get a massage, have a dude do it because they have stronger hands, and he said that that's not necessarily true, but it takes a lot more energy from the woman to put that kind of pressure from a woman. I don't know. We don't need to get into this. Yeah. This is a conversation we've had many times.
Are you suggesting that men and women are not exactly the same in every single way?
Well, he was. I wasn't. I was just laying there. So, near the end, I was talking about how my shoulders bother me and stuff, and how I'm doing constant repetitive motions at work. And he says, "Have you ever tried cupping?"
Oh God!
Oh, you said no because it's bullshit.
I got cups. I got a giant fucking hickey on my armpit.
Oh man!
Yeah, I see it.
I got cupped.
Okay.
It felt weird.
Should you be talking to a police officer?
No.
That's funny.
No, I should not. That was it. I mean,
Was it? I mean, it was just weird. Was it more relaxing? Was it anything? It was just
cupping?
Weird. Yeah, cupping.
No, it's weird. It's like it's okay. It looks like a candle lid. You know, like if you imagine the Yankee candle, like the big bulbous.
Yeah, I got you.
Put it on, and then it's just suction, and it just feels uncomfortable, kind of. And then they kind of like rub it around while it's pulling the fuck out of your skin and shit, and it's supposed to like draw
out the toxins.
Yeah, draw the toxins up to the capillaries and let them work out their shit up there. But it felt really strange, and now I have a giant fucking hickey.
Next time somebody tells you about drawing out toxins from some kind of bullshit, just say, no thanks, I have a liver and kidneys.
Or if they said, if they ask you again, have you ever been cupped? You can answer their question with a question and go, have you been punched in the throat?
Yeah, you could do that.
Did your masseuse ever leave the room for a minute and come back with a quartz crystal and point it at you and say, now shove this up your ass to really get him?
No.
He didn't do that?
No.
He's not doing his job right.
He's not doing it right.
So did it look anything like I'm showing you here? Was it like this? No,
that
nothing.
Was strange. It was just.
That looks like a sounding kit.
Yeah, that's what we're really looking for here.
Let's click that screen. Why is it all in Chinese?
Yeah, I don't see anything like what you're describing.
Brad.
You guys ever seen a Tony Jaa movie?
I've seen.
We watched part of one and you started to fall asleep. I remember. I think there's an awesome scene. Tony Jaa he's a Thai martial artist. He did a few good movies like 10, 15 years ago. But there's an awesome scene where the gangster, the leader of this gang, is getting cupped. He's got all the glass cups in his back, and then Tony Jaa attacks their whole gang and runs in, and the guy jumps up with the cups on his back, and then Tony Jaa does this flying knee. He jumps like 15 feet and then slams in the guy's chest, and he flies back, and all the cups break into his back, and then he just eating shards of glass to get on his back. It's awesome.
Nice.
Oh.
Watch Ong Bak and The Protector. Those are two awesome movies if you want to see a good martial arts movie.
That brings me back to one of Bekah's other favorite topics, which is the guy that sat on the mason jar and it broke inside his asshole.
That's so gross.
And he had to pull the shards of glass out of his asshole.
Just brings us right back
Brings us right back. Full circle.
to the good old days. I wish we knew what was going on with Patrick.
What is going on with him? Did he like send you
Has anybody heard from him?
Let me check. Well, he does like to leave his diary laying around.
His diary? What?
Oh, shit, I found it. He has an entry in here from, I guess it was last Thursday. I hope he doesn't get mad that I'm reading this.
Surely he'll understand.
Yeah, it might be like personal. Maybe have you proofread it? Do you know if it's got some personal business in there, or should we just wing it? Just fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah, we'll just wing it. If anything terrible happens, we'll timestamp it. Tell Patrick to edit it out.
Fine. He won't listen anyway. So.
Get my pen and paper back out.
Okay, so I guess he was kind of addressing this as like.
Hang on. Brad, you're still sharing your screen.
I know what I'm doing.
All right, Bekah.
Okay.
Watch on Mixer to see all the fun.
Patrick's diary entry from last Thursday. I don't come from your average dirty family. That's because we're all part of the Everett family rock band. And we lead a very skanky life. So this is what he's been up to.
He has
this
a band,
is why he has
he's playing in a band.
his Everett family skank band.
Everett family skank.
Everett family skank band.
I smell a podcast title.
That'll make him listen. He'll have to.
Oh my
listen.
god. Perfect.
Look at it like, what y'all talk about?
The Everett family skank band. I
We
thought
talked
you knew about it.
Chinese
He's the one that posts it, so he'll have to agree to.
This is the title.
Well, it'll be the title on YouTube.
We'll see if he does it. I'll send it to him.
Well, I don't know if he's gonna want me reading this.
Oh,
All right.
all right.
So they lead a very skanky life. For example, by not shaving his foreskin every morning, my dad saves enough time to practice the drums. Maybe it's not just about Patrick caring. Maybe his family does. Okay. So my brother does not participate in any extracurricular asshole wrinkles at school because he plays the electric testicle.
Boing, boing, boing.
It's a different kind of bell.
And my frumpy sister just
Bekah's losing her
Shit,
shit.
we need you to finish, man.
I feel so bad. I'm sorry, Patrick. I'm weird. My frumpy sister doesn't have time to date cousins because
That whore. That fucking bitch. She ain't got time
She
for her
doesn't-
cousins.
She's really considered, actually. She's so busy.
well, she doesn't have time to date cousins because she sings lead vocals, practices for 5 hours every parsec.
That takes a long time.
It does.
When I'm not writing our foul songs, Patrick's the writer of all the songs. When he's not writing the songs, I'm tickling the hedgehogs on the keyboard.
You know, because the hedgehogs actually play the keyboard. He has to tickle them to make them do the job.
Tickle them in certain spots to get certain notes.
Found his music. It's the hedgehogs that write it.
That's right. Yeah. He's just taking the credit.
Hedgehog hoedown.
Well, it's time to hear our good adjective from then. Finally, Mom is our dumbing manager. Dumbing was the adjective that we went with.
Okay.
Dumbing manager. She books our band to play at weddings, circumcisions, Indian Burning Man, and bar mitzvahs. So this is what Patrick's been up to.
It's very busy.
Man.
Weeks.
There's a lot of drama in that band, really. Sometimes drama can really pull a band apart. Especially when that fucking that frumpy sister won't fuck the cousins.
Yeah.
She got too much time on her hands, or not
She
enough.
got too much pride.
When it becomes too much for him. We'll be back. We'll be here. I mean, when you're back.
Yeah.
Dave, what are you doing over
Until
there?
he burns it down.
Keep pushing something, and I don't want to make a noise.
You have You have two phones out.
He's double fisting his phones today.
Double fisting my phones.
He's been hiding under the table doing shit with his phone.
Well, I had to respond to a text. So.
Is that something we do? We respond to texts on this podcast?
I didn't think we did.
I don't.
I mean, I try not to.
What's
that face for?
Because we don't text on the podcast.
It's unsafe.
We don't do that.
All right, we got to go play Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
We have to go do that.
Bekah, you can too. I mean, just want you to know.
And
Just because you're a woman doesn't mean you're not allowed to play.
You
Thanks,
listeners
Brad.
out there, you can even play this podcast while you play Red Dead Redemption 2.
That's
It's a good
right.
way to.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually what they used to listen to out on the open prairie. Riding their steed, they'd have some earbuds in, listening to Verbal Assault.
That's right.
That's right. Clint Eastwood's favorite podcast.
Write it down.
That's a fact. That's going on Wikipedia right now.
Google it. Just Google it.
I just keep seeing the horse with one of the what's the phone? The old phone, the old timey big
The horse phone.
Telegraph.
Yeah, no, not a
Old
telegraph.
The Victrola.
Victrola.
The
that's
wind
it.
up phone.
Yeah, so strapped to the back of the horse with a bedroll.
And there's just a wire running by.
Arthur gets back there, he cranks it up a little bit.
They used to use that wire as a lasso. In tight
That's the last
situations.
one for me.
Oh,
Kids these days on their phones nonstop. Can't even get out on the prairie.
No Victrola time.
Things are changing. They don't want us outlaws anymore.
All they want is their phones.
Well, if you're looking for a poem, I may have one. I don't. It doesn't have a name.
Oh.
I had a name,
mysterious.
but then I decided to use it in the poem instead of as the name. So I don't have a name for this poem.
Everett Family Skank Band.
It.
Families.
Take
I
17.
wish I could use that, but it doesn't. It just doesn't work.
It's a poem. It's artistic license.
Okay, this one is
All
called
right.
Everett Family Skank Band. No, it's not. It's called Nothing.
Okay.
And it's very short, but it's very powerful. So pay attention everywhere.
Do we need to hang on to something?
No. You might, actually, you're sitting on an exercise ball. You don't have a back to your chair.
Mm-mm.
This might get okay.
All right, I'm
Just hold.
holding.
Yeah, hold on.
This might get ugly for you without having the backrest.
Hang on to your ball.
Okay. This is the aftermath. What all distance has led to. Failure at the crucifixion. An error in assembly, I think. 100 people came to see. The vultures always crowd when they realize you are the demon.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Somebody said something about demons. Are you taking poetic license with your
Nope.
poems now?
I promise you, I will never do that. I promise you.
Promise you will never
If I
insert
want
your
a
own
word,
words.
if there is a word that I want, I leave that spot blank and wait till I hear it.
Who said demon?
Demonize the white.
Yeah, we said demon a lot at the beginning.
Actually said, realize you are the demon. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Explains all these vultures then.
yep, they always crowd when they realize you're the demon.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Haywood Banks, for our theme song.
Mm.
Yeah, don't forget, I guess Patrick's not here. I should do his Patreon plug, our Patreon plug, patreon.com/verbal assault. Throw a couple bucks, helps pay for the hosting and whatnot. We have a voicemail. All you got to do is call this phone number and leave this voicemail, and you can be a part of the show. 865-316-6955.
Thanks, Obama.
865-316-6955.
That was better than my poem.
I feel like Steve-O
Wow.
could do a good Obama impression if you workshopped it. I think you have the right tone to your voice, right?
Yeah, I think so,
I think you
actually.
could.
Hey, workshop it first.
Go
Yeah,
workshop it. Yeah.
Workshop it.
I'll talk to myself in my car.
Yeah. We don't need to be a part of the learning curve.
Oh,
Thank you.
Hey, Brad, what's the number again?
865-316-6955.
Oh my God, that reminds me. I listened to last week's episode, and Brad, when you did the phone number as Yoda, I did not notice the beautiful joke that you put in there. I did.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if anybody
It
caught
was
that.
so good. Did you guys catch it? He said in Yoda's voice, 316-865-6955. He reversed them.
Oh, brilliant!
It was so good. I
That's
wanted to
scam.
give you props for that joke.
So someone in New Mexico or somewhere got a phone call. Someone was
Yeah,
trying to
that's
reach.
Why we didn't get our
That's
voice-
where our missing voicemail went.
Just call that number, any variation of that number, and just ask, is this Patrick?
Can I want to book the Everett Family Skank Band.
Okay, here. All right. If there are any listeners out there that just don't know what, like, they don't have anything they want to call a voicemail, but they're like, yeah, it'd be fun to be on the show or whatever. Just call the number, and when it asks you to leave the voicemail, just say, "Hey, is this Patrick?" And then we'll play it on the air.
Just play a bunch of fart noises. We'll get it.
Yeah. Hey,
We'll play it.
hey, is this Patrick? And then hang up. That's all you gotta do.
That's all you gotta do. All right.
All right.
Hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right on.
Well,
Right on for it.
Diamond.
I guess.
Deuces.